Thank you.
All right, Keith.
I'm going to sit this time. I'm kind of get tired of running back and forth. So for me, the reason I would be the best choice is, well, because I fully understand what the role is, and that you really have to represent the best interests of all members of SMUSA, which is every student. I am very, very approachable. I like to think so. And like I said, the open door environment and actively seeking the opinions is really going to do great things for our association. And that's what I'm all about, so that's what I'm going to make happen.
Well, the reason why I think I'm good for the position is, number one, I have the knowledge as far as how the organization functions. I've been in a position of, say, where the decisions were made, but mainly it's my personality. I want to give out that I'm able to interact with various cultural backgrounds, and I've done it, and I think people can attest to that and are witness to that. And I don't have any difficulties. I come with the most humblest approach. And number three is because I'm open, I have a good relationship and a mature one with the senior administrations, which I think if we have the ability to communicate well with the senior admins, I think that's also another key to getting our things implemented quick, on top of being personable and being able to understand the student body. And I think it's my love for the school, and I can see what its potential can be, and I've witnessed it over 4 years, and used the different resources, and that's the reason why I would believe that I am made for the position. Thank you.
Very back in the room.
All right, my question is, in what way do you think it's appropriate to incorporate promising job positions in your campaign as a way to get votes?
Okay, so the question for those of you here is, in what way do you think it's appropriate to incorporate policy and promising job positions as a way to get votes? The order for this question is Amali, Keith, Yannick, and then Morgan. For this question, you will have 30 seconds.
Thank you for that question. I don't think it's appropriate whatsoever, and that is something that I did not practice through this campaign period, and I'm very proud to say so. Thank you.
The thing is,
Sorry, it's Amali, Keith, Yannick, Morgan. No, these are, I'm actually making sure you guys get equal numbers in each position, so.
perfect.
I start the clock when you say your first word, so when you guys like dance and all that stuff, that's all good. It's when you say your first word that the clock starts.
Okay. I don't think it's appropriate, and I have not made any political promises to anyone, because I feel that if you do make those promises, someone might come in and apply for a position and they could blow you away. They could have something to offer you that you would never even think is even here at SMU, and you have to be really observant of that and really understand that you don't know what you've got until it's right in front of you. So,
I believe that it's not good practice at all. Number two, it's more, you have to let the process play out in itself. That means the time when the president gets elected and then follow the hiring process, I think that's what has to speak for itself, and we have to come to a collective to be able to do such a decision. And yeah, I'm not for it, I'm against it.
I don't think it's appropriate. I also don't think that you can offer enough jobs to get votes. I don't think there's that many jobs to offer. I guess that's
Thanks, Paula. My question is that I see all four of you, and you all have experience with SMUSA as spirit coordinator, VP communication, marketing coordinator, and all of your platforms are marketing, communication, and spirit. My question is, everyone can have experience, but did you learn from your experience? If yes, what did you learn, and how are you going to implement the same things that you already have roles in previous years?
That's a meaty question, man.
Thank you.
That is a minute and a half. And the order is Amali, Morgan, Keith, Yan. That's where we are on the list. So, Amali, you're up. The question is, how are you going, based on your experiences that you've had today, how have you learned from them, and how are you going to implement things based on both your experiences and what you have learned in doing things differently?
Firstly, Madam Moderator, can you request an extension of 2 minutes on this answer?
No, you may not. You've already started talking, and you just eaten up 4 seconds of it, so.
All right, I'm going to answer that question by telling a story. During orientation week, I attended international orientation and a regular SMUSA orientation. And I walked into McNally and met a few students and their parents, and they were like, "Oh, so what's happening on campus this week? Where can we take our kids?" I was like, "Well, there's term break tomorrow, and you guys should definitely check that out." And they're like, "What's term break?" International students didn't know about SMUSA orientation. So I took those parents, those students over to SMUSA's head office on the 5th floor, got the parents to sign them up, and I can comfortably say that I can see a distinct difference between those students who I took to SMUSA's orientation that got to interact with all the other students of St. Mary's, as opposed to the other students that stayed, in their cliques, from Ghana or from Bermuda or from Jamaica. When I look at those students today, I see them having lunch, I see them going to the mall, partying with students from all over the world, and I think that's how St. Mary's should be. St. Mary's should be an international community, and I think the fusion of international and SMUSA orientation is the answer to that. Thank you.
Morgan?
I haven't held a high position in SMUSA. I do trivia. I've been an orientation leader, and it's exposed me to building a lot of relationships with different groups of people, and I think that will help me just in being able to approach people and having different relationships with different groups of people and just diverse, this diverse school.
Yes, so first off, I am a marketing student, and the answer to your first part of your question is absolutely. I have learned so much from working for these 3 different departments. It's remarkable. So taking what I learned, it's as simple as just having that network of knowing everybody in these departments by name, and them knowing me. If I can use that to work together with SMUSA, what we can do is, there's just so many options. So I would play off of those networks and what I've learned from how those offices work to better the role. So thank you.
I'll be honest, when I first got hired for the position of Vice President of Communication, I came with this mindset that I spoke to myself and said, I know what the students want. That's what the first thing that came to my mind, because I succeeded in the 2-round interviews, and I was like, yeah, let me do it, I know what I'm talking about. Little did I know I didn't, actually. And so I've come to realize holding that position in various, sitting on the student disciplinary board and the scholarship committee and so forth, it's a team effort of listening and being able to convey that message in a consensus way. That's one thing I think I've learned. And the other thing is every student, I think, wants to be heard. That's one thing I came to realize. And that's why for a few people or many that don't know, it's student assemblies. It's me that actually thought of it and put it in place through the help of the students. And there was also the Student Leadership Recognition Award that is going on right now in its second year. I was the mastermind behind it. But that was based on the voices of students. I heard students what they wanted. And the reason why I created that, to be very honest, was to say that people thought, oh, I have to get a scholarship or to get recognized, I have to be the 4.0 GPA kind of student. No. The simplest thing of showing leadership can get you recognized. So I think that's what I have learned. And going into this position, I think I will go with an empty mind saying that I don't know anything and that I will let people guide me. Thank you.
Looking at the hour and more importantly, looking at my matrix, if we do 3 more questions, everybody will have had an equal number of positions, of turns in each position. So, and it's also 7:52. So I'm going to say there are 3 more questions. Do I have 3 people? No. Okay. I'm going to do, because I gave you a hard time last night, you get a question. Green shirt and you. All right, in that order. So you got that? All right, so you go ahead.
Okay, so the cap coming up this year to raise tuitions came up earlier. My question is, what would be your plans to make sure that the cap doesn't increase? And also, how do you feel about our relationships with Student NS and CASA?
Because we waited for 1 question in each one. So I'm going to rephrase your question, and it's going to be, how do you feel about our relationship with CASA and students at NS and its effect on our ability to control the cap? For that, each of you gets 45 seconds. And the order is, I just had to reprogram that first, so it beeps. Okay, so the order is Yannick, Amali, got this backwards, and it should be Keith and Morgan. That's correct.
I have to first commend the current administration, Gorba's administration, for doing a good job at keeping the cap to what it is. We have to give them a round of applause, please. With that being said, however, I believe and I know that the SMUSA and Student NS and CASA have a sound relationship. Given our participation and the fact that we actually get them to meet our students, I think it's fair to say that that's one thing that many schools don't benefit off. However, though, I want to say to make sure to maintain a proper cap, a reasonable cap, is I have to look into the books. We, as a team, we would have to look into the books and come to a reasonable, agreeable consensus with the university and listening to students. I think the student assembly would be one approach to going about it. Thank you.
Amali?
Thank you, really good question. First of all, I would never make any promises to any students that the cap is going to remain where it is, because I can't tell the future, and we're dealing with a lot of different factors and players in that situation. And we know that St. Mary's University executive is, big and really bad. When I say bad, not negatively bad, but they're strong. What I can do is to fight as hard as I can to keep it where it is or even lower it. And like I mentioned before, it's about establishing a really comfortable middle ground between both organizations so we can work together for the best interests of all the students of St. Mary's. Thank you.
Yeah. So, as I said before, with Dalhousie recently deciding to vote out of Students Nova Scotia, SMU has the steering wheel. We have full representation. We are the big guys. We're the fat cats in the room. So, I personally am going to fight or lobby with Students Nova Scotia to keep that cap as low as possible. And again, we need to commend Borba for the hard work he's done with that and all the stress he's gone through recently with the Students Nova Scotia. So let's give him another round of applause.